What advice would you give your collector self from a year ago? This is
good. This is good.
Right?
Carlos needs a lot of advice.
This will be fun. I know Carlos needs advice constantly. So, but Optical, I want to ask you. I have a feeling I know where you're going to go, but I don't want to throw it out there because I don't want to like throw you in one direction or another. But what advice would you give your collector self from a year ago from today? What would you say to yourself?
From a year ago, stop buying Marvel.
Exactly.
I did buy Marvel a year ago.
I thought pop culture would be in there somewhere.
And I was like, God damn. Like I'm talking about Marvel in MSRP because I did buy a couple from MSRP because my thought process a year ago was just like, oh, before it hits X, discount, it'll be years. Well, no, I was wrong. I bought those. I bought the Cap. Like the 2012 Cap. I bought because I was hell bent on getting Endgame. I was like, I have this vision on the Endgame line, and I was just like, all right, I need Cap, Bro Thor. Man, I wish I didn't bought that for MSRP. Because right now you see all these discounts and you'd be like, oh man, that could have been like buy two get one free from all the things that I paid for. But yeah, I mean, that's what I would give myself. And also don't choose the boat shipping
from Tours Wonderland.
Because if I gave that advice myself a year ago, I would have just gotten the figure now.
That's true. Did you finally get everything you ordered, by the way?
I finally did.
Thank God. Thank God the Loki I have from them is DHL. So thank God. Well, maybe they might lose it. Who knows? I don't want to knock on wood, but
yeah, it only took 5 months. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest. And don't log into. Well, you know what? I don't regret pop culture. I'm gonna take that back.
Okay, I thought you would.
My purchase from pop culture. I do not. Okay. But yeah, those things. Do not buy Marvel at MSRP.
I regret my purchase of Battle Damage Thanos, but it's okay.
You sold it for $1 less.
I know I sold it for $1 less, but I regret it nonetheless. Riley, what advice would you give yourself? Because you were probably a brand new collector at the time, and you've learned a lot since then, right? So what would you tell your new collector self today?
Okay, yeah. So this is an interesting one. So
right.
Yeah, the main thing I'd say,
you're like in college class right now.
Yeah, exactly.
A question on the
seminar,
off the top cuff, yeah.
Oh my God, but so advice I'd probably say, definitely plan out your display. I think that's super important. Like before you get so many figures, or before you start getting like your 10, your 5th, your 15th, your 30th, 50th, like I'd say have the display prepared. That's what I'd say, because in my eyes, before like a year ago, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get like a couple, 1 or 2 D-tops, and I won't get that many. I'll get like maybe 6 or 7, yada, yada, yada. But obviously that's usually not how it goes when you're a hot toy collector. You go down that hole and you get a lot more. And that's what happened to me, for instance. So I'd say that definitely plan out, your display, and definitely plan out what you're pre-ordering, because to me, there's a lot of times where I've jumped on certain deals. Like you just said, Will, the Battle Damage Thanos for you. There's so many times where I've gotten figures where like I liked it, but it wasn't like, I was like, okay, I can sell this because I don't care that much for it. I'd say that's another thing that's super important to me when you're pre-ordering, or when you're even buying on the aftermarket. Like those deals, they look so nice, but like, do you really want it that badly at the end of the day, or is it just because of the money, like just because of the deal it is? So I'd say that's super important, because I've gone down the hole where I was thinking like, oh, this is only like $200. Like I think a year or 6 months ago, I was like, this is only $200, $220, $230. This is so cheap for a hot toy. But like now we can even see them for $180 and $170 and $160. So it's like, you're still losing money, and you're getting a figure that you didn't love that much. It was the deal that got you sucked in. So that's another thing important to me. And like I said, again, the display, that's another thing. And the capability of your room display, because to me that I have some like 1 or 2 figures now that are just like in the box right now, because I'm waiting for the Maju cases, and because I wasn't planning that much to have that many figures. And now I'm like, okay, I need to get the Maju case. I need to set this up. I need to get this on pre-order. But now I have figures just like in the I never like not displaying my figures. I don't really like leaving them in the box, because I just feel like there's no use to that. So, but right now I'm kind of facing that right now, because I'm just waiting for my display. So again, focus out on your display before you go down that hole, and just make sure you're prepared for that. And be careful with certain deals, and don't get trapped with specific prices on deals, because you'll end up kind of kicking yourself when you're selling it. And even if you lose that $1, it's still to you, Will. Like I'm sure you're like, I didn't want to like go through shipping it, boxing it up, and doing all this. I should have never done it. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Carlos, what about you, bro? Because I know you've had quite the journey. So I want you to fill us in about what advice you would give yourself.
Well, Dude, I've had the fucking craziest journey on this collection. I've quit like 2 times just because I felt overwhelmed.
It's been a roller
with
coaster,
it.
dude.
It's been crazy, man. And I would say the biggest thing for me would be, I guess, a couple, right? One, from the very beginning, understand that it's about quality, not quantity, right? Like, just because a DX15 Captain Sparrow or Jack Sparrow is fucking good, you don't really need it if you really didn't care. Like, before Hot Toys was a thing, and when you learned about Hot Toys, did you even think about, like, I really need a Captain Jack Sparrow, or the figure was so good that made you get it? So, like, that's kind of what one of the biggest advice, like, it's about quality, not quantity, and just getting figures that you really, really want, right? Not the ones that are just like a Yondu. Like, it's good, but I don't ever really give a fuck about Yondu prior until I saw the Hot Toys sculpt.
Right.
But yet I have it because I thought it was really cool, right? Things like that. And the biggest one is, don't literally buy no figures at all. Not even, like, buy nothing. And for me, at least, I'm saying, start from the head sculpt down, knowing what I know now, knowing about the way I am in my customs and what I'm doing. Start from the head sculpt down. If the head sculpt isn't there, don't get it and just move on. You don't really need any of these things. There's not a single piece in your collection that you feel like you need. You know, there may be that one, right? But 99% of it you don't really need. So that's how I would see it. And I would have gone through and not have all this stupid ass tax things that I have to deal with now and all that crap. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, all good.
Yeah, one thing I would say, Carlos, after doing what you and I have done over the past week, right? One thing I would give, piece of advice I would give my future self, is to screenshot every purchase that you make, because that's going to be really important. So screenshot every purchase that you make and every sale that you make, catalog it away just for the right time. So that's what I would say. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that's going to be important. And again, I'm with you guys on, I think display is important. I think what Optical said, not buying Marvel, that's very relevant at this point. We didn't expect that to happen after Endgame. Like, after Endgame, we were like, Marvel's the fucking king, baby. It's never going to end. Let's keep the train rolling. And then it's like, oh, here goes Marvel. We're watching it go down.
Let me ask you this question, right? Like, and I've been there. Like, we have, like, people have over 100 figures. Optical has it. I had it.
Yeah.
Like, the reality of us really saying, like, we love over 100 characters, is that realistic? Like, do we really love 100 characters or whatever it is? Because I mean, like I said, I
might like over 100 characters, but love is like
not.
like Loki to me and Iron Man to you and Batman to Riley and Optical probably Wolverine.
Right. Or
That's
like
love.
I mean, you can like them, I guess, but like feel that connection enough where like you want to buy them. Like, you really have that connection to that many pieces, or are we just buying it for hoarding, or because we just want to have it because we get bored and we want to move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like that more and more, because I'm like, because again, I had a shit ton, well over 250 or right at 250. And it's like, I don't know, like, even if you can see it, right? Because I see someone here, like, you can see in your collection, like, yeah, but like, do you really need that piece? Like, at the end of, like, do you really fucking need a blurg? Like, did you, like, when you saw the blurg on the TV, you're like, I need that fucker in my TV. Like, I need that in my collection.
I need that goddamn.
I need that blurg. I need the blurg. You know, my life is not complete without it. Like, I just need a blurg. I'm like, did you really though? You know what I mean? So I think about that stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's fair to think about. Well, Optical's going to get a blurg, and he's going to get it boat shipping from Toys 1 Million.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's wrap the topic on that one.